Ever felt paralysed by the blank page, the empty canvas, the sheer fear of not being good enough? This is Julian's story, trapped by the fear of imperfection until one act of defiance sets him free. Discover how embracing the messy first stroke can unlock your creativity and courage, proving that true art lies not in perfection, but in the bravery to begin. In his quiet studio, Julian wrestled with an untouched canvas, its blankness mocking his creative spirit. Fear of not being good enough had held him captive for weeks. A silent war waged within his own mind. He longed to paint, to express the vibrant world inside him, but anxiety kept him chained to the spot. Days turned into weeks, filled with meaningless tasks to avoid the true challenge. Brushes were obsessively cleaned, colours meticulously arranged, but the canvas remained a pristine, daunting void. Each attempt to approach it was met with a wave of self-doubt, pushing him further into inaction. One afternoon, an unexpected notification pierced through his self-imposed isolation. A local art exhibit with a looming deadline. Panic seized him. He had nothing new to show, only a blank canvas and a mind full of doubts. The familiar urge to flee resurfaced stronger than ever. Yet, something shifted within him, a flicker of defiance. He glared at the blank canvas, challenging his own fears. In a sudden act of rebellion, he grabbed a tube of black paint, its weight unfamiliar and grounding in his trembling hand. Without hesitation, he squeezed the tube, and a dark, viscous blob splattered onto the pristine white. He pressed his hand into the paint and smeared it across the canvas. A primal act of breaking the barrier that held him back. The perfect canvas was gone, replaced by an imperfect, chaotic mark. It was far from beautiful, but it was a beginning, a testament to his courage to start, even when fear loomed large. He stepped back, heart racing, and gazed at the smear. It wasn't failure, it was a movement. A brave first stroke that shattered the silence of his anxiety. The canvas, once an unscalable mountain, was now a path forward. In the days that followed, Julian returned to his studio with newfound vigour. The black smear was no longer a symbol of imperfection, but a beacon of bravery, guiding his next steps. He painted over the smear, adding colours and shapes, letting his emotions guide his brush rather than his fear. Each stroke was a small act of rebellion, a refusal to be held hostage by the pressure to be perfect. The canvas transformed into a vibrant landscape of his inner world, a place where emotions swirled and collided, creating something uniquely his own. He found freedom in imperfection, beauty in the unexpected. He experimented with bold colours and unconventional techniques, pushing the boundaries of his comfort zone. Each day he learnt to trust his instincts, to embrace the journey of creation rather than the pursuit of perfection. The studio, once a symbol of his confinement, now felt like a sanctuary of self-discovery. Each brushstroke was a step towards embracing his vulnerability and celebrating his creative voice. The deadline for the art exhibit arrived. Julian had a piece he was proud of, not because it was flawless, but because it was honest. It was a reflection of his journey, his fears, and his triumphs. The exhibit buzzed with energy, filled with an array of works from talented artists. Julian's painting, bold and imperfect, drew curious eyes, each person captivated by its unique story. He watched as people connected with his art, their eyes reflecting their own experiences, their own struggles. He realized that art was not about perfection, but about connection, about sharing a piece of your soul. Julian's painting wasn't a masterpiece in the traditional sense, but it told a story of growth, courage, and the beauty of beginning. It was a testament to the power of vulnerability and the freedom of expression. More importantly, it reminded Julian that the fear of failure would always be there, but it could be faced, defied, and transformed into a catalyst for creativity. He learned to embrace the messy, imperfect process of making something new. He understood that creativity was not about achieving perfection, but about daring to start, daring to try, and daring to embrace the unknown. It was about trusting his instincts and honoring his unique vision. Julian's journey had transformed him. He was no longer the anxious artist paralyzed by fear, but a confident creator who embraced the challenges and celebrated the imperfections. He realized that vulnerability was not a weakness, but a strength. It allowed him to connect with others on a deeper level, to share his experiences and inspire them to embrace their own creative journeys. He began to mentor other aspiring artists, sharing his insights and encouraging them to overcome their own fears. He created a community of support, a space where creativity could flourish without judgment. His art evolved, becoming more expressive and more authentic. He no longer strived for perfection, but for truth, for the raw and unfiltered expression of his inner world. His studio, once a battleground of fear and self-doubt, became a sanctuary of self-acceptance and creative exploration. He welcomed the imperfections, the mistakes, for they were all part of his unique story. He learned that the bravest thing you can do is to make the first imperfect stroke, to dare to begin, to trust your instincts, and to honor your creative voice. And so Julian continued to create, to explore, to inspire, forever embracing the messy, wonderful journey of art, knowing that true beauty lies not in perfection, but in the courage to create. He discovered that art was not just a way to express himself, but a way to connect with others, to heal and to inspire. His art became a bridge between hearts, a voice for the voiceless, a beacon of hope in a world that often felt dark. Through his art, Julian found his purpose, his voice, and his courage. He became an inspiration to others, a reminder that even the most daunting challenges can be overcome with creativity and resilience. Julian's story became a legend, a testament to the transformative power of art and the courage to create. His art inspired countless others to embrace their own creativity and to find their voice in the world. And so, the legacy of the first stroke lived on, inspiring generations to come to embrace the courage to create, to overcome their fears, and to find their own unique voice in the world through art. For it is in the imperfections, in the vulnerabilities, and in the courage to begin that true beauty lies, waiting to be discovered and shared with the world.